Welcome to the REALL Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by
the Resilience Doctor,
Dr. Sheikah Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilient framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REALL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
The Resilience Doctor.
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
the Resilience Doctor
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with
the Resilience
describe them as
Doctor
an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
It's Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to episode 225 of the REALL Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Resilience DoctHers. I'm Dr. Sheikah Houston.
Good morning, and I am Dr. Tammy Taylor. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome. And if this is your first time tuning in, you may be wondering, who are the Resilience DoctHers?
And we are glad that you asked. We are best-selling authors, children book authors, award-winning educators, and speakers who transformed our schools with report card movement of 2 and 3 levels in just a single year.
Absolutely. And as senior staff developers for Create and Educate, we help you transform your school using our REALL framework that you see over both of our shoulders and at the top of the pane here. With our framework, this makes the work that we did very easily duplicatable. So we inspire your students and your staff members with our transformation stories, because transformation begins with belief, making more schools resilient every single day.
For sure. And if you can't bring us in, then keep tuning in to the REALL Academy, where we have impacted over 300,000 educators and about 7 million students. And that's a lot of people through our all free, fantastic 4PD, starting off on Saturday mornings, which has been deemed as Super Saturday by Principal Kafele at 10 a.m. with Principal Sean Hurt, who is always on fire and I'm sure has done his thing this morning. As you can tell, we are pre-recorded today. And following Principal Hurt at 10:30 in the Real Academy are Shika and I. And then at 10:55, we have the Leaders Mentor and the GOAT in the AP and New Principals Academy, Principal Kafele. And then we round out on Sunday evenings with Principal Josh Tovar and Dr. Mari Moreno with the PGP podcast. So we're asking that you like, share, subscribe, send stars, make comments, do all of the things that the platforms require to help us to build those algorithms. And we say please and thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if you are one of our Real Fam members, you know that it is Real Fam shout out time. But because we are pre-recorded, we are thanking everyone for being here. You could be doing 1,000 other things, but you are intentional about being here with us on Saturdays, and we appreciate you for it. We do have some announcements, and shout out to Stacey L. Joy, who received her national board certification. So congratulate her. But we are absolutely loving that people are loving Amir's Awakening. So shout out also to the Jackson family. This is Mr. Noah here. He is very happy with his book. He just got finished reading it and is loving Amir's Awakening. So yes, this makes our heart happy. And if you have not ordered your copy, please do so. We'll put some links out above the recording so that you can order. If you prefer to order on Amazon, just know that the book is available on Amazon, but the activity guide is only in our shop store. You can get both from the shop store, but if you do order from Amazon, just know if you would like the activity guide, go to the shop store and get that as well. They are a great complement to one another. And if you do order the activity guide, you get these extras: the travel ticket, which makes the adventure very fun, and also just preparation for the journey with the right attire, a pyramid fort. So all of the things for your child or your students to really enjoy Amir's Awakening. And there is still a special in the shop store for the bundle. If you get them together, you will get a discount. So continue to take advantage of that. And join us on Wednesdays on WGCD radio station with our Parents as First Teachers show. That's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We are going to be featuring some guest moms and dads that will be on with us. So please make sure you tune in. We'll share the live link so that you can watch it live. And finally, we are very excited. It is the Kwanzaa celebration season is coming up. So we are excited to be the guest speakers for the Kwanzaa celebration. We're starting off with Unity on Friday, December the 26th in Jacksonville, Florida. So if you are there, this is presented by the Melanin Collaborative Group. So if you are there, please join us. Thank you to Don and also Dr. Chester, who have invited us out to speak.
Yes, we're super excited.
We are. Let me get this removed. So our real comment from episode 224 was from Queen Jacqueline Harriet from Canada. She wanted to know if she could please get 50 to 100 copies of Amir's Awakening. So we are very excited to be sending those copies to Canada. And we hope that the rest of you are getting some orders in as well. And please don't forget to post. Let us know what you think. Let people know about Amir's Awakening because it is really a phenomenal book. And while you're at it, make sure that you pick up Dr. Roz's book, My Daddy Taught Me Math. pick up Principal Kafele's book, and he's actually presenting, I think, up at the NAPSB conference in Chicago. What is my value instructionally to the teachers I supervise? Pick up Principal Hurt's book, Inner City, How to Transform Inner City Schools, and pick up Amir's Awakening. So that brings us to episode 225, From Stories to Self-Awareness, Infusing SEL into Literacy with Amir's Awakening. So first, we're going to be talking about why SEL needs to live in literacy. So one of the biggest struggles we hear from teachers is, I don't have time for SEL. It's not in the pacing guide. But the truth is, SEL should not be separate from instruction. It should live within it, especially in your literacy block.
For sure. Reading is one of the richest ways to teach students how to understand themselves and others. But the key is in choosing books that help them see themselves and help them to be able to reflect deeply.
Absolutely. And that's exactly where Amir's Awakening comes in. It's not just a story, it's a mirror, a window, a doorway, and a mirror to see themselves, a window into their history, and a doorway to self discovery.
Yes. Now let's break it down using the real framework because this story isn't just a good read, and it is definitely that, but it aligns perfectly with respect, with excellence, with accountability, with literacy, and with leadership.
So when we look at respect, Amir's journey begins when he feels disconnected from school. How many people have children in their buildings or in their homes who feel disconnected from school? So the story creates space to talk about respecting our roots and our culture, but also respecting the need for school and having some real dialogue around that, and putting the relevance back to why we even need to come to school. Teachers can use this to spark classroom conversation on what respect looks like internally and externally.
Honey, and you have to be able to have those conversations, especially when we have in our homes children who are saying, I don't want to go to school today. Can I please stay home? We need to be able to make them understand you need to be there for you. This is a part of respecting yourself as a learner. And then when we look at the book with the excellence portion of the framework, Amir and his classmates learn in the story about the brilliance of their ancestors, mathematicians, architects, leaders. This is where we can connect the text to academic excellence that is rooted in our cultural identity.
Absolutely, Tammy. You hit the nail on the head with that one. And then that takes us to accountability. So when the children are given knowledge, they are also given responsibility, a perfect opportunity to lead a writing prompt with the students. So what they could write about, what are you responsible for when you know your story? This connects them directly to their background knowledge.
Yes, that's really, really powerful too, because the story of you, the story of us, probably is the most powerful story that we definitely can tell. So that is truly a very powerful activity that teachers and families can use the book for. And then, of course, the literacy aspect of the book supports comprehension, it supports fluency, vocabulary, as Shika said, writing. It supports all of the things that are necessary components of helping students to be effective and good readers all around ELA students, because when you make that reading and writing connection, you can definitely strengthen your learners. But even more than that, it actually activates background knowledge, which is one of the biggest factors in students' reading growth, because they're able to connect with the text based on what they know already.
Absolutely, Tammy. And I love that. And, just make sure we keep in mind that writing also helps students to process what they have read. Sometimes we disconnect the two, but they are very much connected, like Tammy said. Then that takes us to leadership. Students step into their power by connecting to their past. You can follow up with journal prompts like, how will you lead in your classroom, your family, or your community? So the book can be used in multiple settings, not just in the classroom, but at home, in organizations. It could be used multifaceted.
Absolutely. And one thing that you can add to that as you are helping your children to think through their own ability to be leaders, you can have them to write a different ending to the story. What could Amir have done differently? Like if he had hung around in ancient Egypt, what might Amir have done? And you can see what kinds of creative things they could come up with, and maybe even connected with some of the things that they learned about Imhotep in the story. So, just a very powerful experience available for your children as they are reading through those opportunities with Amir, and just making sure we understand what that looks like. Now, you can also look at, we want you to be able to look and see how Amir's awakening can be used as an instructional tool. And you can use it intentionally during instruction by starting with a read aloud. You can use tone, pace, and visuals to bring that journey to life for your children.
Absolutely. And then you can move into author's purpose. And because the ELA standards a lot of times are cyclical, that means they, repeat themselves. Author's purpose could be at the elementary level. I know for a fact it's at the middle level, from remembering, reading the lesson plans. But you can ask, why do you think the authors wrote this story? And guide students to understand that stories carry power, not just for entertainment, but for awakening.
Yes, and Shika, what I love about what you just said, and this is so important, administrators and teachers, as you are thinking about how you can use this, and just going back to what Shika said, make sure you're looking at your grade level standard for what that author's purpose is supposed to look like. Make sure if you are a sixth grade teacher, you're not teaching author's purpose on a first grade level with them just telling you what the author meant when they were writing the story. Make sure you take it to the depth of the standard that you are trying to teach, because that's what's going to get you yield and impact on your students' learning. And then I think a very important aspect of any kind of cultural read is the ability to connect it to social studies content. Now, ancient Egypt, African contributions to math and science, the role of ancestors, those things are super important. And guess where you never find those? In regular history books. So here's a way to incorporate that into your students' learning so that they understand, and that gives the students the context that textbooks are leaving out.
Absolutely. And then you can tie it all together with SEL reflections. So have students write a letter to an ancestor or respond to the question, what does knowing your history help you understand about yourself?
I love that. That's probably one of my most favorite activities. And then we want you to be able to help the children to make responsible decisions through the story. Because when students are connecting with Amir's emotions, his frustration, his curiosity, even his awakening, they learn how to begin to practice empathy. Because honestly, when you're reading a book, you have to feel for Amir. Poor thing. He's just over
He really was frustrated.
it.
And so from there, they can role play or write about what Amir should do next. And this builds decision making, a core SEL competency. I know when I'm looking at that behavior, that responsible decision making is one of my number one interventions that I'm recommending for students. So I know that that is needed.
Yes. And we're not just teaching them how to read, we're teaching them how to lead, love who they are, and make responsible choices with cultural pride.
Absolutely, Tammy. And that cultural pride, being proud of who you are, knowing your identity is so, so very important.
Yes.
So, if you're an educator who's ready to make every minute of your day count without sacrificing SEL, if you are a leader who has tried to get teachers to, adopt these SEL practices, Amir's Awakening is a resource that you can use. We actually have created some teaching guides to go along with it because that has been a request from schools that have ordered in bulk. So if that's something that you need, we could definitely provide it for you. But this is something that will help students not just with standards, but making sure that they understand those SEL principles as well.
Yes, and if you want your students to walk away feeling seen, feeling valued and powerful, don't wait. Literacy is the launch pad for identity and resilience, and Amir's Awakening is a vehicle to help you get there.
Absolutely. So please order. We are absolutely ecstatic. I know y'all are going to get tired of us talking about Amir's Awakening, but it's a phenomenal story that I haven't seen a child yet who has at the author's visits that we've done. It really brightens them up.
They
So
do love it.
they do. So make sure that you get it. We are super excited. We can come out as well for an author's visit if you need that as well. So we are available for that, and any Kwanzaa celebrations as well in January. Um, we've been invited for a vision board party for women and girls that will be by the Beacon Foundation. So we are excited about that as well. So that brings us to an end for today. So please make sure that you join Principal Kafele next. He has some phenomenal guests on with him. Shout out to everybody who was up in Chicago. We missed you all this time. Hopefully, we'll join you next year
Right.
um, for the NAPSI conference. And then make sure you join Josh and Dr. Madi Moreno if she's back. I'm not sure if Josh has another guest host on Sunday on PGP Podcast. And then right back here on Super Saturday, starting off with Principal Sean Hurt, yours truly at 10:30. Principal Hurt is at 10. And then Principal Kafele, the GOAT, is at 10:55. So we thank you all. We will see you next Saturday, and we
Yes.
hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Thank you guys.